For most of my life, I thought Nicole was the sister I never had. We met in college, survived terrible jobs together, shared apartments, breakups, and countless late-night conversations. If you asked anyone who knew us, they'd tell you we were inseparable. That's why what she did hurt more than anything. Because the person who destroyed my trust wasn't a stranger. It was my best friend. My name is Rach, and this is how I discovered that the person I trusted most had been secretly destroying my life for years. At the time, my life was finally falling into place. I had been dating my fiancé, Samuel, for 3 years. We had just gotten engaged, and I was happier than I'd ever been. Our families got along, our wedding plans were underway, and for the first time, the future felt certain. Nicole seemed thrilled for me. She helped me choose decorations, came dress shopping, and constantly posted photos of us online with captions about friendship and loyalty. Looking back, I realize it was all a performance. The first crack appeared one evening when I received a strange message on social media. The sender was a man I'd never met. His message read, "Are you really getting married? Because your dating profile says you're single." I stared at the screen, confused. At first I assumed it was spam. Then he sent screenshots. My stomach dropped. The profile photo was me. Every picture belonged to me. Photos from vacations, photos from my social media, even a picture Samuel had taken during our engagement trip. The profile used my first name and my city. But it wasn't my account. Someone had stolen my identity. I immediately reported the profile and blocked the man. I told Samuel about it, and we both assumed some random scammer had copied my pictures. Annoying, but not personal. Or so I thought. A week later, another message arrived. Then another. And another. Different men. Different dating apps, the same photos, the same fake profile. Some of the conversations attached to the screenshots were disturbing. The fake me flirted heavily, made promises, scheduled dates, and sometimes disappeared without explanation. A few men accused me of wasting their time. Others seemed genuinely confused. The more screenshots I received, the more unsettled I became. Whoever was behind this had been doing it for months, maybe longer. Then one man sent me something that changed everything. A screenshot of a private conversation. In it, the fake profile claimed that I was secretly unhappy in my relationship, that Samuel controlled me, that I was planning to leave him, that I had cheated before. The words hit me like a punch, because they weren't just pretending to be me anymore. They were actively damaging my reputation. Someone was spreading lies, and they knew enough about my life to make those lies believable. That's when I stopped thinking it was a random stranger. This was someone who knew me, someone close. I started paying attention. Nicole had always been unusually interested in my relationship. She asked detailed questions, wanted updates after every disagreement, and remembered tiny details most people would forget. At the time, I thought it was because she cared. Now I wasn't so sure. The breakthrough happened completely by accident. One of the men who contacted me agreed to help. He hadn't blocked the fake profile yet. Instead, he continued the conversation while sharing screenshots with me. For several days, we watched, and then the fake account made a mistake. The person behind it accidentally sent a photo before deleting it. It disappeared quickly, but not before he saved it. The image wasn't of me, it was a mirror selfie, and reflected in the mirror was Nicole. I remember staring at the photo in complete disbelief. My mind refused to accept it. Nicole? My best friend? The woman standing beside me in nearly every major life event? No, it couldn't be. But the evidence kept piling up. The man continued talking to the account. Eventually, he convinced the person behind it to move the conversation to another platform. The linked email contained part of Nicole's name. Then came timestamps matching moments she'd been with me. There was no doubt left. Nicole had been pretending to be me online for years, but the worst discovery was still ahead. As I dug deeper, mutual friends began sharing things they'd heard over the years. Rumors, stories, little comments that never made sense before. Apparently, people had been told I was manipulative, jealous, unfaithful, and attention-seeking. The source of nearly every rumor was Nicole. She would spread the story and then comfort me when it came back around. She created problems and then played the supportive friend. It was a level of betrayal I still struggle to understand. For days, I debated confronting her. Part of me wanted answers. Another part wanted revenge. In the end, I chose something better. Evidence. I collected everything. The fake profiles, the screenshots, the messages, the email records, statements from the men she'd catfished, and screenshots showing Nicole's connection to every account. Then I waited. A month later, Nicole hosted a gathering for our friend group. Nearly everyone we knew was there. She greeted me with a hug, smiled, asked about wedding planning, and acted exactly like she always did. The performance deserved an award. Halfway through the evening, I stood up and tapped my glass. Everyone looked over. Nicole smiled at me. She thought I was about to share wedding news. Instead, I connected my laptop to the television. The room went silent. The first image appeared, a dating profile using my face, my name, and my photos. People looked confused. Then came the screenshots, the conversations, the lies, the rumors, the evidence, one after another. I watched Nicole's smile slowly disappear. At first, she denied everything. Then she blamed hackers. Then she claimed someone was framing her. But every excuse collapsed beneath the evidence. Finally, one of the screenshots appeared, showing her reflection in the mirror. The room became completely silent. Nicole looked like she'd seen a ghost. There was nowhere left to hide. One friend asked the question everyone was thinking. How long have you been doing this? Nicole didn't answer, because the answer would have exposed years of deception. People began leaving. Others confronted her directly. Several friends later told me they felt sick realizing how often she'd manipulated them. By the end of the night, Nicole was sitting alone. The same people she'd lied to for years wanted nothing to do with her. I never screamed. I never insulted her. I simply showed the truth. And the truth did all the work for me. The fallout was immediate. Nicole lost nearly every friendship she had. Several of the men she'd catfished publicly exposed the accounts. Her reputation collapsed almost overnight. As for me, I removed her from my life completely. No final conversation, no second chance, no dramatic reconciliation. Some betrayals are too deliberate to forgive. A few months later, Samuel and I got married. The wedding was beautiful, surrounded by people who genuinely cared about us, people who didn't secretly compete with us, people who didn't wear friendship like a disguise. Sometimes I still wonder why Nicole did it. Jealousy, attention, resentment, maybe all three. But I eventually realized I didn't need an explanation, because closure didn't come from understanding her. It came from exposing the truth. The woman I trusted most stole my identity, spread lies about my relationship, and tried to rewrite who I was. She thought she'd never get caught. She was wrong. And the moment everyone saw who she really was, the mask she'd worn for years finally fell away. Some betrayals hide behind a smile. Some enemies disguise themselves as friends. But sooner or later, the truth always finds its way into the light. This is shattered trust, where hidden betrayals are exposed and the truth comes to life.